think that's one of the first things I sat down with my staff and explained. Because I know for some people, when they hear that a person who's struggling with infertility has been told that there's now maybe a 1 month, 2 month wait before she can have, in the case of someone for insemination or embryo transfer, before they can do that, some people would probably say, well, what's 2 months? They've been trying for a year, 2 years, 3 years. What's 2 months? And so I know for myself, I've sat down with my staff to explain that to this patient, just like you said, that transfer, they had mentally prepared themselves for that transfer being the final solution to their infertility issue. They were going to be pregnant. And even though we know that, and they know deep inside that it's not 100% that they will become pregnant, it is about hope. Nobody goes into a transfer really expecting that it won't work. Nobody does an insemination cycle expecting that they won't be pregnant. And what the cessation has done is it's just stopped all of that.
Yeah.
It's taken away that hope.
Yeah, and obviously layer on top of it just the inherent level of anxiety brought on by COVID-19 and Corona. I mean, look, we're all anxious about coronavirus, and I think there are and that's understandable. I think if someone's not anxious, then they're actually putting others at risk.
It's true. I think anxiety is what drives you to take the extra precautions. In general, I think where it gets tricky is recognizing when the anxiety might be overtaking even you and your day-to-day. And what are signs of that, Dr. Snyder? If someone might not be sure, they know they're feeling the anxiety, but they're not sure if this is really now impacting their day-to-day, what are some signs and symptoms that they or their loved one should be looking for as clues?
Well, look, I think one thing, first of all, you should still be able to enjoy things. So, right, we're all hopefully staying home 90 some odd % of the time. And when we're home, look, you should still be able to, go on Facebook and or go on like a Zoom call and enjoy talking to friends. You should be able to, if you're living with someone, play Scrabble and have a good time, or read a book that you enjoy, right? And disconnect from the reality of coronavirus and from the anxiety that brings on, because life is there are still great joys in life. You should, right? And if every moment of every day is spent, or the vast majority is spent really being in the throes of anxiety, that's excessive.
Agreed.
Yes, our lives are completely turned upside down, and there are a lot of reasons to be worried. However, there are a lot of things that one can see as a positive right now. Look, we have endless time. I mean, there's an irony in it that, we spend our lives running around from point A to point B, right? If someone's always available, you wonder what's wrong with them.
It's not our norm. Yes.
Right. I mean, in our world, being busy is synonymous with being successful. And we are driven to being overworked. I mean, and we talk a lot about with children that we overschedule children, but in truth, we schedule ourselves. And
it's true.
We do an excellent job of overbooking our days, sleeping too little, right? And then wondering why we feel like crap.
Yeah,
right?
It's true.
Now we are being forced to sit back and not do anything, and there's something really, it's a gift, because we are forced to, work out at home, find some great, whatever. I did a dance class the other day. God help us all. Thank God there's no camera there. But that's not something I would do, right?
Yeah.
My son and I have been painting together a lot. We've done that before, but we just sat and we did it. We did a bunch of them. It was really fun. And we had time. We didn't.
There were no limits on time this time. You just did it. Yes.
And you wear PJs all day. Who cares? No one is judging. No one is seeing. Right? There's if you really cannot find that time because you're in the throes of this anxiety such that you are watching, CNN or MSNBC or Fox, sorry, Fox, whatever it is you're watching all the time because you just are like, I need to know. That's driven by a level of anxiety that isn't getting you anywhere.
It's true.
If you're not sleeping, that's a bad sign, right? Like you should still be able to sleep normally. Normally, if you're eating way more than usual, well, part of that is because, frankly, beyond like snacking, if you're really just constantly hungry, you're like, and you're using food to kind of feel some, that's not a great thing. If you feel this nervous energy that is typical, all of these things are signs that you are having excessive reaction. And what's great is you can still get help.
Yes.
People are so worried that they're alone right now, and you're not. I think just about every mental health professional I know is working virtually. I am.
Everyone see that for them because I think a lot of people don't realize that, and so they do feel like they're now stuck at home with no resources.
And that is not true. So literally everyone I know is working virtually. Like we're talking right now, there are so many, I don't think Facebook is actually one way, but there are so many, there are both websites and there are HIPAA compliant websites.
Yes.
Even both the federal government and depending on what state you're in, but I think at least New York State has now lifted multiple restrictions. So people can FaceTime legally from a malpractice standpoint. It's much easier now to work virtually than it has ever been before.
Very true.
And a patient of mine was joking, it's the first time we've ever talked and she was she wasn't wearing pants. And I was like, okay. She was like, I'm wearing shorts. I was like, okay.
Yes. I could tell she was very comfortable talking with you to share that, which is good.
In reality, I was wearing PJ pants. So we were good. We were both equal. But the point being that there is help available.
Yes.
There are a lot of low fee resources also available.
Yes.
If you look. There are a lot of group therapy options available. There are all different things. If you look online, not hard to find.
Yes.
Other things, so someone in the chat is saying cooking, amazing.
Yes.
Amazing option. Cook with your family. Cook by yourself. Look online. Yes, depending on where you live, it may be harder or easier to go to the supermarket. And you know what? Someone just wrote a wonderful thing, being quality time with family is needed.
Yes.
I agree 100%. I got this yesterday that my daughter and I made a soup. And, spent a long time making this soup and cooking. And it was like, my daughter was like, Mommy, this is great mommy and Penelope time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she was like, I love this. And, I've been thinking about, I've been doing virtual school with him and this and that and whatever. But this is great time that we don't get to have all the time, right? We're going to look back on this and say, wow.
It's true.
We did a whole puzzle. Like, when do we sit there and do a 1,000-piece puzzle together?
And that's something I was saying, in so much as it's unfortunate that it's happening during a pandemic. I think it really was necessary, the speed that the world was going, that we actually needed a pause. And it's unfortunate that the pandemic is what brought the pause. But I felt like humanity was becoming more and more isolated from themselves. And also, even within families, people were less and less aware of each other's whereabouts, each other's likes, each other's personalities. And my hope is that that's one of the things that comes out of this, is the reset allows us to actually also reset values and family values. As a fertility specialist, I have a feeling it is, because I'm also seeing a lot of patients who've requested new patient consults, for example, to see me and talk to me, who said they just started thinking about building their family as now they've been at home.
Yeah.
And they're alone.
I've had patients who have said that they've been able to have family dinners or dinners with their husband.
Yeah.
For the first time in however many years that it's not been a priority.
Yes. Yes.
And I think we all are very much aware of what we're missing.
It's true.
Social isolation from friends, even virtually, right? But we're all very aware that we miss interaction with other people. And that's a great thing, right? We all take it for granted that we're social beings. And we're running away from society because society is scary right now. And it's a very uncomfortable paradigm. But I think after this, we'll all be more aware and appreciative of one another, hopefully, and of our families. And God knows, I will say, let me throw out to teachers, I am going to be the first in line for a ticker tape parade for teachers, because doing a virtual school, not a joy. Teachers are amazing.
Hard.
But I think overall, this is a time where we really have the opportunity to also, take time for ourselves. It's not just about everyone else. I think there's something really important to be said for finding, how many of us have hobbies, really have hobbies, and really allow ourselves the time to invest in learning something new, or right, or perfecting something, or if you like yoga, like how many of us really spend that much time like perfecting this or that, whatever? We don't. This is
it's true. And I was commenting about that. A friend and I were having a conversation about that, the meaning of hobbies, and the fact that we, in the last couple decades, being able to still have a career, have a life, and practice our hobbies was seen as being superhuman because life was so busy. And the truth is, prior to that, people actually did have hobbies on a very regular basis. Our parents had hobbies. Our grandparents had hobbies. They had things that we could talk to them about that they did outside of work. And I think that's what this is coming also to remind people about, is that we did have hobbies before, and that they're actually really integral parts to our day-to-day existence and mental health. Having something that you like to do outside of being told you have to do it. There's a sense of, if you take time for yourself, you're being, quote, you're being self-absorbed. How dare you do something purely for yourself, especially once you have a family, right? Yes, true.
Once you become a mother or a father, now it has to be entirely about your children and your family. And I am a firm believer that if you allow yourself time for whatever it is you enjoy, you will come back to your family a better mother, father, family person.